off to the next nightmare. I'm 37 or too low. Let's try this 38 out. And an experience potion. And away we go. Yeah, in addition to Storm Hat, I am told that there is an interesting weapon out there for werewolf called like Gloom something or other. And once again, I tried not to read too much into exactly what it did because I kind of want the surprise when I get it. But two uniques, at least two uniques out there that's supposed to be interesting for what I'm trying to do. So I have hope that I'll find something. So in a tier 38, these guys are exactly 4 levels above me. But I think if I go to a tier 39, they skip ahead 2 more levels, so that they're kind of out of the range. So I got to try and run 38s. And then maybe when I get this level up, I'll be able to run 39s. Or I should be running 39s. Oh, really? Wow, really, to both of those, you're doing 8k damage with a basic attack. Whoa. You must have ended up quite a lot. Oh, no. The laser killed me. Whap. You must have ended up with a lot more basic attack damage than I did. And the helm gives you more spirit. Oh, I love more spirit. Spirit's great. Allows me to go without using my spirit builder for longer. Oh, the lightning's about to go off again. But yeah, I can't believe I died with no enemies on the screen because some lightning went off screen from me. Like, it sounds like what I'm getting is like a wolf version of that bear hat that I had a few times that just made Earth and Bear a lot more closer in nature so that you could use the skills out of both of them a little bit more. Which I liked. It really changed things up. So I really value the 15% damage reduction while you're in werewolf form. I think that's, a big part of why I'm alive a lot of the time, because that was quite a nice one. And yeah, it's like my favourite defensive legendary effect slot while I'm playing werewolf. So anything that kind of knocks you out of werewolf form is a bit of a no. And I'm hoping it'll allow me to use Hurricane and remain a werewolf, and then I'll probably pick up the +2 ranks of all shapeshifting skills whilst Hurricane is active. course, if I'm using storm stuff, then I have good access to the vulnerability effect over having no vulnerability. Oh, and I didn't even think about this, but the Paragon board might end up looking a little bit different. At the moment, I've got the one where each time you spend 75 spirits, you gain an attack damage buff, but it might be worth going into the Storm Paragon board if I'm all stormy. Which would be interesting. I just kind of like that it's going to be a bit different. Oh, I'm really starting to dislike that frosty freeze wall. Nah, I don't have time to kill these eggs. They've got the most hit points in the universe. I don't know if this was in the patch notes, but I feel like my poisons are a lot better since the patch, like sort of double the damage out of nowhere. The poison from rabies specifically seems to be double. Oh, almost died again. Dang lightning. Hey, that was all the guys. No, I woke up a little bit late, and yeah, needed to turn the stream on if I was going to be anything remotely too close to on time. And then I edited some videos last night and changed the chat on the stream, and then I ran out of time. But if I read the patch notes, who's going to stream the stream? When I make it big, I'll hire a guy to stand next to me and like read out the patch notes to me. It'll be like a butler, but for patch notes. The news is depressing, but I guess... Oh, I guess I'm more of a reader than a watcher. Like, if I look for a guide for something, I tend not to head to the YouTube guides. I try to head to the text guides. Because then, you know, often you're on their page already, so they get to the point. There's some websites that don't. But I find that anything that's in video format, they've got to be telling you about their like, subscribe, favourite and everything else and Raid Shadow Legends before they will tell you what the hell they're trying to tell you. So I guess it's not that I don't like the visual format and I prefer reading, but I think when you're reading at least something on the internet, there's less fluff behind it. Yeah, I have sat down with some games and some programs and read like a trillion line patch notes, word for word, every single bit of it, top to bottom. But, I don't know, doing stuff's more fun than reading about stuff. Like, for the Total War Warhammer game that I play, I generally read the patch notes about the factions that I'm interested in playing. Or maybe even just the one that I'm playing right now, and then I need to know the notes for that faction, and then I can just switch the whole thing off. So, you know, maybe I'd look up the Druid portion with regards to this. And be like, oh, okay, that's got what's going on different with Druid today. I'm done. But then while I'm there, I'd be all like, oh, well. Oh, I like Warhammer Fantasy Battle a little bit more than Warhammer 40,000. So the Total War Warhammers at the moment, they're Warhammer Fantasy Battle. I find the problem with Warhammer 40,000 is it's always an Ultramarine. And there's always a guy on the cover that's an Ultramarine that's always leaning back with his mouth hanging open as if he's yelling a war cry, and there's something leaping on him, and he'll have a chainsword and he'll have a bolter, and that's the cover of everything Warhammer 40,000 for all of time, forever. They never mix it up. Warhammer 40,000 is a little bit repetitive, in my opinion.
I'll shake on that.
It might be a Tyranid attacking an Ultramarine, or it might be an Orc jumping at him, but there's always something jumping directly on him. That's kind of a nice chest piece for werewolf. I'll keep that.
That looks worn. I can fix it.
Yeah, Games Workshop. I kind of like that. I grew up on a lot of Games Workshop stuff because it's an English intellectual property, and there's not many of them, and it's kind of cool. Straight out of the UK.